Hey folks, how we doing? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dave Wildheart, and this is another live music video performance reaction analysis type thing. And I just finished making a Merle Haggard video, so I had a request by a chap called Joseph Skinner. He donated to my PayPal, and he asked me to check out Are the Good Times Really Over? So I did that, and then unfortunately YouTube completely banned the video worldwide. So yeah, that's unfortunately only available over on my Patreon, but I've made it free on there, so you can check that out if you want to. And anyway, that's the nature of the game with these kind of reaction analysis videos, right? Sometimes they're blocked, sometimes not. Anyway, I still wanted to do a Merle Haggard video, so hopefully you are watching this one and it is live. But this one we are going to check out is a song called Sing Me Back Home. Now, Sing Me Back Home was written and released in 1967. So this is already about 15 years earlier than the previous Merle Haggard video I checked out. The live version we are watching is obviously not from 1967. I can't tell exactly when it's from. It's not in the notes, but it's obviously a time where we have widescreen television, so we're not in 4:3. I don't know when that came in. I'm guessing it's in the 2000s, especially judging by his age. He's looking like an older gentleman, maybe in his 60s, early 70s there. I don't know. Maybe we'll see more when we actually watch the video. But this song was among several notable Haggard songs that touched on a common theme: prison. Okay, so Haggard was obviously in San Quentin State Prison in California. And this song, they have a little bit of information here, draws upon Haggard's relationship with two fellow inmates, Carly Chessman, the first modern American executed for a non-lethal kidnapping, and James Rabbit Kendrick, who was executed in 1961 for killing a California highway patrolman after escaping from prison. So in this song, he is taking on the role of an inmate at a state penitentiary where a condemned prisoner is being led towards the death chamber. The inmate, who regularly plays guitar and sings in his jail cell to pass the time, is asked to perform a final song at the condemned prisoner's request before he and the guards continue on. As the song is completed, he reflects on a church choir's visit to the prison just a week earlier, where members performed hymns for the inmates. One of the songs evoked the soon-to-be executed prisoner's memories of his mother and carefree childhood before his life went wrong. Wow, so we are, it already sounds great, doesn't it? But we are touching on deep topics. Yeah, this is people's lives, and it wouldn't surprise me if this is something he'd seen whilst he was in prison. Who knows? Anyway, let's not waffle too much. Let's get into it. I'm really looking forward to it. Look, Merle Haggard looks so freaking cool in this. You wouldn't believe. Anyway, let's crack on, eh?
Here's one for all the ex-convicts in the house.
Oh! That's a nice way to start a song. I really like that. That's a lot of people on stage.
The warden led a prisoner down the hallway to his doom. And I stood up to say goodbye like all the rest. And I heard him tell the warden, there's a song my mama sang.
Oh, a deep voice, huh?
Could I hear it once before you move along?
Before it drops in the chorus. Surprisingly, still a really solid voice. I say surprisingly because often we're watching older musicians who may have lost a bit of what they had before. And maybe that is the case, in which case, whoa, his 70s and 80s stuff must be really damn good. But this is clearly someone who still has more than anything, has a great capability of being able to sing. It sounds beautiful, super clean. It's not kind of croaky or raspy or weak in any way. Really cool. Let's keep going, huh? I guess we're dropping into the chorus.
Let him sing me back home with a song I used to hear. Made my old memories come alive. Take me away and turn back the years and sing me back home before I die.
Man, real kind of gospel vibes. I mean, obviously we've got a choir in the background, which really adds to the gospel sound, but it makes me wonder, was the original probably wasn't such a gospel-y kind of sound. I'm imagining in my head it's a bit more, I mean, when was it written? 67. Well, then it's going to be a lot more kind of folky, going to have that kind of folky early country sound. I imagine it's not going to be too electronic. Oh, just imagining how the song sounded when it was released. But, you know, as artists seem to grow, they seem to get more musicians on stage, and the songs almost inevitably seem to take a more electronic turn. And I don't know, it's like when you think about Bob Dylan in the 60s versus Bob Dylan, well, now, I guess, and many other acts. I guess it's easier for the artist to have a whole band there backing and supporting him. But I really like it. I really like it. Oh yeah. Sounds beautiful. You know, I have to say, I did not realize that Merle Haggard was such a guitar player. You know, there's a super melodic kind of solo, but there's also some nice things going on, especially with that kind of, at the end, he's playing two different strings. I really like that. Yeah, I didn't know he was such a guitar player. I assumed, as per usual, falsely, that he was more of just like an acoustic kind of guitar-y country guy. But, although having said that, that other video I watched from him in the 80s, he was also playing a Telecaster, not an acoustic guitar. Curious. Let's keep going.
I recall last Sunday morning, a choir from off the streets
That low voice, man.
came in to sing a few old gospel songs. And I heard him tell the singers, there's this song my mama sang.
I do love that low.
Could I hear it once before you move along?
So, how old is he in this? I need to know when this was. He must be in his 70s in this one, right? And he's got that, when he goes to the lower register, it reminds me so much of Willie Nelson, Johnny Cash. When they get into that low section, it just, there's something about a low sung country melody which really just does it for me. Does exactly what I want to hear. And in his voice, there's quite a lot of vibrato still. He's still got this kind of, not so much as kind of like the Willie Nelson kind of thing, but it's really good for an older gentleman, shall we say.
Sing. Could I hear it once before you move along? Let him sing me back home with a song I used to hear.
Love it.
And make my old memories come alive. take me away and turn back the years. Sing me back home before I die. Sing me back home or I die.
Wow. 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 Man, we have an official goosebumps moment there at the end. I don't know. It's just gets me going. And when music gets me giving the goosebumps, it might be just cold here in Austria, but when the music gives me the goosebumps, and I know that it is triggering these emotions in me. I loved it. Look, this is for sure a song I need to check out the original, right? I've got to see. I can imagine it's so different from this version. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But this version is really an older version of Merle Haggard. Merle Haggard. I do like his name as well. Just Haggard sounds like the word Haggard. He's clearly still got a wonderful voice. Such a nice, is it a timbre? Is that what you would call it? That kind of low, beautiful sound that he has. I'd give anything to have a voice quite like that, especially at his age. The whole song in general, I mean, I can imagine him in a prison cell writing this back in his San Quentin days. Whether or not he wrote it in prison, I do not know. But it's clearly massively influenced by being in prison and by his prisoners around him. Look, the story we talked about at the beginning, I'm not going to go over that again. But I do like that. I wonder at what point he got the hook, "Sing Me Back Home Before I Die." If he got that idea and then worked backwards, or if he started writing and then the chorus just came to him. I tend to, when I'm writing, get the hook first, like the line, and then the whole song builds off that. Hey, maybe he has told us in interviews and there is information about how he wrote it. Maybe not, and I guess we'll never know if not. But yeah, so he died in 2016, so that must have been pretty close to his death, no? What did he die of? Anybody know? I know. Do I know? I don't know. Personal life, cigarettes, illness, death. He was hospitalized, ongoing pneumonia. It's a classic, right? 79th birthday, he died of complications from pneumonia. Yeah, man. I guess you get old, you get pneumonia, you don't tend to get it twice, do you? Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Please remember you can join the Patreon to help support the channel. I will also put that other Merle Haggard song, the other Merle Haggard video I made, will also go on Patreon as a free version, so you can go check that out as well. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again very soon.